What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Pro. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are here, we are back, and we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably don't expect NBA videos on this channel, but I want to start doing these. I want to start doing some NBA videos. You know, I've been posting about the Heat exclusively for a while now. I'm going to try posting about the NBA in general because I'm an NBA fan. We're going to be predicting the standings because the season is about to start. I mean, preseason is starting today. So I cannot believe we're already at this point of the year where preseason is already starting, but we're going to be predicting every team's record, or not record, where they place up, and hopefully you guys agree. If you guys don't agree, that's completely fine. I understand we're gonna get some fans from different teams here, so I just want to say I'm gonna be as unbiased as possible. I am a Heat fan because the channel is called the Heat Report, obviously, but I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. This is just my opinion. You know, my opinion is not what holds the most weight out of anybody's opinion. My opinion is just my opinion. It's just for you guys to see what I think. That's it. So I could be completely off, but that's the fun of it. It's a prediction. You know, you're gonna get some stuff wrong. I'm gonna try to make sure I only, I'm gonna try to make sure I'm like not too far off though. So we're gonna start off with the Western Conference. It's right here. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts. If you guys have a compelling argument for a team being higher, a team being lower, let me know. I'll gladly, see those comments. So, Western Conference. I mean, I'm not really sure where we start here. I think I could start from the bottom. I could start from the top. I might be all over the place here, guys. You know, I might be jumping around from top, bottom, just to try to see. It's a lot easier to rank stuff when you're jumping around from top and bottom instead of just doing them in order because it's hard. You want to narrow down some teams and get some teams out of the way first. So my worst team in the West is going to be Portland. I think, this is no shot at Portland. I know the whole Dame stuff. There's beef between Heat fans and Blazer fans, but they're objectively the worst team in the West. I think that's pretty clear. I have every team's depth chart over here. This is just the starters, but I can pull up the full depth chart for every team as well. So, listen. Portland, Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Denny Avdia, Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton. I mean, that's not a bad team. In all seriousness, it's not a bad team as they have Shaden Sharp coming off the bench. But the problem is they're playing in the Western Conference, and all the Western Conference teams have some sort of a solid roster. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think their bench is great. I don't think Chauncey Billups is an amazing coach. So they're gonna be at 15. Portland's gonna be at 15. Now 13, 14, you could go either way. I think it's between San Antonio and Utah. You could go either one at 14 or 13. Looking at depth charts, Chris Paul, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama, Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Laurie Markkinen. They got Taylor Hendricks at the 4. This is ESPN, by the way, so if this is wrong, I apologize. This is interesting. They don't have Walker Kessler at the 5, so maybe they declare that Walker Kessler will come off the bench. That's crazy because Walker Kessler in his rookie season was like projecting to be so much better than what he's turned out to be so far. So I hope he has a bounce back here. I'm gonna put Utah at 14, and the reason is I think San Antonio has a couple of things going for them. They have Chris Paul coming in, and whatever you feel about Chris Paul, he's always had the ability to elevate a team. So I feel like even though they're not the most talented roster on paper, they have the addition of him. I think that's going to make a big difference. The Jazz don't really have a true point guard. I think Keontae George is more of a combo. I mean, they have him starting at the 1. I think they have Isaiah Collier who's going to come off the bench. I know that. But yeah, Chris Paul is going to make a difference to me. I think Greg Popovich is still a really good coach. Will Hardy's a good coach too. Will Hardy's a really good coach as well. And I think the biggest thing, though, is that they have the expectation that Victor Wembanyama, I think everybody has the expectation that he's going to take a massive leap this season. He's going to become, one of the best players in basketball. I mean, if not already, he's already one of the best players in basketball. But he's going to solidify himself into maybe top 20. So he is that great as a second-year player. And for that reason, I think they have some more stuff going for them. I'm going to put them at 13. We're going to move on. Now, this is where it gets tough because all these teams are capable of making the play-in at least. I think out of all these teams, Houston might be a team that I put at 12. I mean, I like their team. I think, it's, what is it, Fred VanVleet. Yeah, here we go. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Şengün. I mean, again, not a bad team at all. They have Amen Thompson off the bench. They have Reed Shepherd, who I think is going to be a very good candidate to win Rookie of the Year. They added Steven Adams. They have Cam Whitmore, Tari Eason. They have a solid team. They have a solid team on paper, but unfortunately, they don't have that guy. They don't have like a star player. I mean, are we expecting Jalen Green to take that leap? Are we expecting Şengün to take that leap into being like a star? I mean, we could, but I don't think that's going to propel them over any of these teams. I'm going to put them at 12. This is like the toughest decision for me, because I was looking at this beforehand and I was like, who do I put at 11? Who misses out on the play-in completely? Like, it's obviously not these two. Golden State, I think, has a real shot to miss out, which I know a lot of Warriors fans will not like, but in my opinion, I don't think their team is that great. I mean, they did lose Klay Thompson, and I don't think Klay Thompson was anything amazing last season, but you know, they have a new team. It's a new offense without Klay. I understand that people think that Buddy Hield can just replace him like that, but Klay Thompson is a guy who's understood that offense like the back of his hand for the past how many ever years he's been with them. I think 13 years. So it's not going to be easy to replace a guy like that, no matter how much worse he might have gotten. So they're a real contender to miss out. I think the Clippers are a real contender to miss out. The Clippers are a really, really tough team to predict, because I feel like everything for them relies on the health of Kawhi Leonard. If Kawhi Leonard has shown to, if Kawhi Leonard is going to miss games this season, which he is, I mean, he's already set to miss some time. I'm not sure how much time he's going to miss, but he is going to be missing a certain amount of time. I don't know the timetable, and I do like the Clippers team apart from like Kawhi as well. Like, I think they have a pretty solid team. I think they did a good job filling in the void of Paul George, but without Kawhi Leonard, it's going to be tough. The Lakers were a serious contender to miss out last season. They ended up making it as a 7 seed. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll make it. I think they just have. They have two guys who are both arguably top 10 players in basketball. I don't think they're gonna miss the play-in. I don't think they're gonna miss out. I think JJ Redick is actually. I think he's gonna be a good coach for them. I can imagine that he's gonna be a good coach for them. I think Memphis, who was down here last year, I think they're gonna take a leap as well. I know Jaren Jackson is missing for some time. I know he got hurt pretty recently, but I still think they're gonna be amongst these upper teams. Minnesota, we don't have to talk about. They're going to be here. New Orleans, I think they're going to make it. OKC, Phoenix, Sacramento. So I think it's really between Golden State and LA here. I'm not sure. Again, looking at the depth chart, LA Clippers, James Harden, Terrence Mann, Derrick Jones Jr., Kawhi Leonard, Ivica Zubac, Steph, Podziemski, Wiggins, Kuminga, Draymond. Now, I like the Clippers team better, but the only... And this is not even including. I can look at the full depth chart right now, and just like if I want to look at Golden State, they got DeAnthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Gary Payton, Trace Jackson, Kevon Looney as well. They don't have a bad team. Golden State definitely has a solid team, which is why they're make the plan. But I don't know. I like the Clippers team. I don't think the Clippers are any slouch. Tyronn Lue's a really good coach. It's really just Kawhi Leonard. I don't know when he's going to be back. It says he's day-to-day over here. I don't know his injury status. Let's see what it says here. I can see. He's held out of 5v5 action right now. Leonard was expected to be limited. He's planning to be ready for opening night. Oh, well, if he's going to be ready for opening night, Clippers in here. I'm going to put the Clippers at 10, Warriors at 11 for now. I don't feel good about it. I'm sorry, Warriors fans. I know people are going to come at me in the comments, but somebody has to miss out, guys. There's so many teams here that are so talented. I wish the Warriors can make it. I'm a huge Steph fan, but unfortunately, I don't know. I just don't think he has what it takes. I think Steve Kerr has also, had a significant drop-off as a coach for the past few seasons now. I'm going to just jump up to number 1 here, and I'm going to put my top teams. I think OKC is going to have the number 1 seed locked up. I think they're going to be a really good regular season team. I still believe in Denver, even though they lost KCP. I don't think it's as big of a loss as people think it is. I think they're still going to be a really good team. Christian Brown, he's not the shooter that KCP is, but I think he can be. I'm a huge fan of Julian Strother. I still think they have a lot on their team that's really, really good. I'm a huge fan of that team still. Now, I think over here it's between Dallas and Minnesota. The thing is that I think Minnesota obviously made a trade. They traded away Cat and they got Julius Randle. I don't know how that's going to work out in the regular season, but because of their defense, I think they're still going to be amongst the top teams here. I'm going to have Dallas at 4. Again, these two could be very interchangeable. I think these two are going to be really close. Minnesota, Dallas. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. LA, Memphis, New Orleans, Phoenix, Sacramento. I like Phoenix. I think Phoenix solved the issue of not having a point guard. I think Tyus Jones is a great pickup for them. I like Memphis. I like New Orleans. I mean, I don't know what New Orleans' projected starting lineup is here. They said Yves Missy. I don't know how accurate that is because I think Herb Jones will definitely start. Unless it's been confirmed. I don't know if New Orleans, if it's been. Oh, I probably have to. I gotta do this right. So let me go here. I don't think it's been. I don't think Yves Missy will start. I mean, he might start, but Herb Jones I think will start. I like New Orleans team a lot though. I think if they have CJ McCollum off the bench, it'll be nice. DeJounte, Herb, B.I., Zion. I guess Yves Missy could start then. But I think they'll end up starting all 5 of these. I think they'll start DeJounte, CJ, Herb, B.I., Zion. I think they'll put Zion at the 5. I don't know how feasible that is, but I think that's what they're going to do. I think out of all these teams, I'm not a huge believer in Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox, I love Keon Ellis. I mean, if you guys go back to my video, I made like a top 5 sleepers of the 2022 draft, and he was number 1. Like, I've been a Keon Ellis believer for a long time. If you guys know, if you know, you know. Keon Ellis has been my guy, so I'm a huge Keon Ellis guy. DeMar DeRozan was a good pickup, but I think this is more of a name chase than anything. I don't know if he's gonna fit that team well. He might fit that team. DeRozan is a hard player to incorporate into a team, man, especially a team that doesn't have that many floor spacers. Keegan Murray can definitely space the floor. They got some floor spacers off the bench in Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, but the starting lineup, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely a talented starting lineup for sure. Definitely talented starting lineup. I just don't know if they're better than some of the teams over here. The Lakers, D'Lo. It's hard. It's hard to put the Lakers this low. I mean, they might completely flop like last season. I'm gonna put Phoenix at 5. I think Phoenix is safe. I think Phoenix and Memphis are safe. These 3 can go either way. You can have the Lakers at 7. You can have the Lakers at 9. I don't know out of these 3 like how it's gonna play out. I think they're gonna have to do some figuring out because I think New Orleans, their biggest weakness is the center position. I think they need a center desperately. I think the Lakers, it's just all about the consistency with them. It's like you just don't know what to expect from the Lakers, man. On paper, they don't have a bad team. They have 2 players who are top 10. But how is it going to work out? I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time here. Sacramento. What is Sacramento's depth chart looking like? I want to see their bench real quick. I just want to see what Sacramento is working with off their bench. Oh, page error. Not sure why, ESPN. Okay, it looks like I can't see their bench. All right, well, let me just go to full. Actually, this is probably better then. The only reason I didn't do this is because I would have to do a lot of scrolling. So yeah, Atlanta, Boston. This is an order of alphabetical order. So De'Aaron Fox, Jordan McLaughlin is their backup. Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter is their backups. Jalen McDaniels, Trey Lyles, Alex Len. I don't know how much I like that Sacramento. That bench towards that back end. Who else was in contention? The Lakers. Okay, yeah, here we go. Jose Alvarado, Jordan Hawkins, Trey Murphy. Well, I guess they have Herb Jones coming off the bench here. I guess okay, whatever it is. I think New Orleans has a good bench. I like New Orleans bench. Um, LA, where's LA? I'm sorry guys. I know this is super messy. I just need to see the lineups. Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, Dalton Connect, Hochefino, Jared Vanderbilt. Oh, I'm gonna put Sacramento at 9. That might be crazy. I'm putting Sacramento at 9. I'm putting. Oh my God! Between these two teams, I don't know who's gonna be 8 and 7. I'm putting New Orleans at 7. Or shoot. Okay, well, that is not what I wanted to do. This is my standings right now. I don't feel great about it, but we're gonna roll with it for now because we have to move on to the East. It's been too much time. These three can be interchangeable. These two can be interchangeable. These two can be interchangeable. Listen, I understand there's gonna be some fans that are pissed off here. I really want to switch New Orleans and LA because I just think New Orleans without a center is gonna struggle, especially on the glass. I think especially defensively, it's gonna be tough. And matter of fact, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put New Orleans at 8. I think until New Orleans figures out that center position, it's gonna be tough for them. They have a lot of good perimeter players, but I don't know. I don't know how it'll look. Maybe Zion at the 5 might be the answer. I don't know. I'm putting them at 8 for now. Eastern Conference. We can get some stuff out of the way here. Brooklyn, worst team in the league for sure. I don't think I have to say anything more about Brooklyn. I think Washington will not be far off. These three teams, I think Detroit will be at 13. I think you have Charlotte, Chicago, Toronto. I'm putting Toronto at 12. I really like Charlotte's team a lot. I think Charlotte has a sneaky chance of making the play-in, but the only thing is that LaMelo Ball has to be healthy. I'm going to put Chicago at 10, and I'm going to put Chicago 11, Charlotte at 10. These two could be very interchangeable, guys, but the thing that I think Chicago is going to do this season, I think Chicago is going to be setting themselves up to move on from both Zach LaVine and Vucevic. I think Zach LaVine was probably a candidate that was supposed to be traded the whole of, last season, the off season, and I think the reason he's not traded is because of his contract. But this year, especially if they want to be a part of the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, I think it is in their best interest to trade away Zach LaVine. I think they will eventually move on from him, and without Zach LaVine, I'm not sure how much I like Chicago. I think their lineup, their team is very guard dominant. I think they have some good players. I like Kobe White. I like Lonzo Ball. I mean, we'll have to see how he plays when he's healthy. Io is my Illini. I love Io as a former Illini man. He's my guy. But I think Charlotte has a nice lineup, man. I love their new coach. I think their coach, Charles Lee, is a really good coach. He's going to be a really good coach in my opinion. I've been seeing some of their offseason stuff. I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Charlotte to make the play-in. This is a bold prediction. It's my bold prediction is that Charlotte is going to make the play-in. It could fall flat in my face. I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're the 10 seed. And I'm going to put Atlanta at number 9, okay? We're going to get to 8 and 7 and 6 and all these later. I'm going to go back to the top here like I did last time. I'm going to put Boston at 1. I'm going to put New York at 2. I'm going to put Philadelphia at 3. I'm going to put Milwaukee at 4. I know we're going fast. The reason for that is that I feel like these 4 teams are, like, on paper, a class above the rest of the Eastern Conference. In order, I feel like Boston, you have to give them their respect. I do not like Boston as a Heat fan, but they're the defending champions. I think they got better. They added Lonnie Walker. They didn't lose anybody. They brought back all their players. I think they'll be a good team. New York obviously made a really, really big trade. Their starting lineup on paper is one of the best, if not the best in all of basketball, right behind Boston. Philadelphia added a big piece as well, and they added a couple of nice pieces. They stole away Caleb Martin from us. And I think Milwaukee with Dame and Giannis will always find a way to be up there. Now, these four spots, Cleveland, Indiana, Miami, Orlando, is the most tough decision I'm going to be making today because I do not know where to go. Like I said, I'm a Heat fan. This is the Heat report. I don't want to be biased, but I might have to be just because there's some stuff about the Heat that Heat fans will know that a lot of people will not know. And a lot of people will not believe in the Heat because of last season, because of the year before. They finished in the play-in. They're generally a mediocre team in the regular season. But us Heat fans are inclined to believe that the Heat will be better in the regular season. And the reason for that is that Jimmy Butler is on a contract year. If he wants that extension from anybody, forget the Heat. If he wants that extension from anybody, he's going to be taking the regular season seriously. He's going to have to. He has to take the regular season seriously. He really, really has to take the regular season seriously because he's in a contract year. So if Jimmy Butler wants to get that big bag, if he wants to get that big extension, he needs to show up and show out. And I think he will. I mean, he's already come to media day, fully prepared and ready. No shenanigans, no weird hairdo. He's ready. And I think because of that, you're going to have a team that is going to be a lot more prepared. I like the new offense that they're planning to install. So I don't think they're going to be in the 8th spot or the 7th spot. They might be 7. I don't think they're going to be in 8. I think they're going to be better in the regular season than they were last year. The only caveat to that is that they were severely depleted by injuries last season. They were severely depleted by injuries the year before. So I don't know if they're just an injury-prone team. I don't know if that's just luck. But that is the only thing that scares me about this team in the regular season is the injuries. Apart from that, I think they'll be a solid team. I think they'll have to figure out if the starting lineup that they plan to use is going to work. I think they have that weapons offensively. They just have to figure out how to use them. I think Tyler Hero is bought into being in whatever role he's assigned to be in. I think he's implemented that unselfish mindset. I think Bam Adebayo shooting threes is going to help the Heat. So that's my 2 cents about my favorite team. Now, Orlando, although I like Orlando's starting lineup, where's Orlando on this list? I don't like Orlando's second unit. I think Cole Anthony's good. I don't know about Gary Harris. I mean, he absolutely, was terrible in the playoffs for them last year. I know it's just one series, but he's getting up there. He's not the same player he was a couple years ago or a few years ago when he was with Denver. They don't have a backup small forward. I guess that's Anthony Black. Jonathan Isaac I like. He's one of the best defenders in basketball. Well, actually, Tristan DeSilva would be their backup small forward. Okay. Mo Wagner. They have a solid team for sure. I just don't think Orlando's going to be able to put the ball in the basket. That's the whole issue with them. Paolo Banchero is an incredible player. He's an incredible player. One of my favorite players in the whole league. When people were talking about who the number 1 pick was, I was on this channel saying Paolo Banchero is the number 1 pick in the draft. People were talking about Chet. People were talking about Jabari. Paolo Banchero I've always been a believer in. I've always liked Franz Wagner. But the shooting of Franz Wagner has concerned me. I will say that. I love the pickup of KCP. I think Jalen Suggs is a good guard as well. I think Wendell Carter, I think he's a little undersized, but he plays bigger than what he is. I don't think they have enough shooting in that starting lineup besides KCP. And I just don't think they have enough scoring as a team. Now, Indiana, I'm a huge fan of their team. I love Indiana's team. Tyrese, Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, Miles Turner is an extremely good starting lineup. TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin. I love Ben Shepherd shooting as well. What's it called? Yeah, you got Benedict Mathurin here as well. You have Jarris Walker, he was my favorite rookie coming in last season. Huge fan of his game. If he even gets some minutes. Obi Toppin, Isaiah Jackson. They have a good team. Indiana has a really good team. I think Indiana's definitely going to take one of these 2 spots for me. I think they have to. I think their team is just too good. But the only problem is Cleveland historically has been a really good regular season team. They've been a really, really good regular season team. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. That lineup has had its up and downs, but for the most part last season, it was good. It was a solid lineup. Cleveland's bench isn't that great to me either. I mean, I guess Craig Porter Jr., Karis LeVert, Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, George Niang. They don't even have a backup center. Their bench scares me in not a good way. But I'm in a dilemma here because Cleveland historically has been always one of these top teams in the regular season. In the regular season, they've always been a good team. Even last year where they were depleted by injuries, they fought and they ended up becoming a regular season team. I'm going to this is so tough, man. So tough. And then obviously Miami is looking at, my Heat over here. Rozier, Hero, Butler, Jovic, Bam. I think that's a good starting lineup. I think Tyler Hero will have to play more off the ball, but he said he's willing to do that. Alec Burks, Josh Richardson, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Kevin Love, Haywood Highsmith, Khalil Bird. This is a good lineup. This is a good lineup. This is a very solid lineup. Oh my God, I'm putting Indiana at 5. I'm putting Miami at 6. I'm putting Cleveland at 7. I'm putting Orlando at 8. I feel terrible about this. I think Cleveland could be a lot higher. I feel bad about putting Cleveland and Orlando here. I think Orlando can take a jump. I think Cleveland could take a jump. This is a lot of bias for me. I'm not going to lie. This is my Miami Heat bias kicking in. I do not want to see us in the play-in again. I don't think we're going to end up in the play. I think we'll be one of the top 6 seeds. I think Jimmy Butler has a point to prove. I think he has a contract that he wants to get. I think Indiana has an extremely solid team. I absolutely love their team on paper. And I think in the regular season especially, they're going to blow teams out with their fast-paced offense. I think Cleveland and Orlando are good defensive teams. Orlando is going to be a top 5, top 10 defensive team in basketball for sure. My only struggle with Orlando is how are they going to score the ball? Like where are the points coming from? That's what I fear about Orlando is I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough points. And then Cleveland, it's just that second unit, and it's just the second unit. I don't know. I don't believe in the second unit at all. I think their second unit is atrocious. I like their starting lineup. I think Darius Garland also has a point to prove this season. And the only reason I have Cleveland above Orlando is because historically, when you've seen like these past few years, Cleveland has always been the team in the regular season where you have to give some respect to because they've always, no matter what roster they've had out there, they've always been a good regular season team. So these are my standing predictions for both the West and the Eastern Conference. This has been a pretty long video, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, if your favorite team is too low, I understand. I'm very sorry about that. This is just my opinion. I want to be as respectful as possible to every team here because I truly believe that a lot of these teams that I have lower can finish higher. I think from 5 through 8, all these teams are interchangeable. Wherever you want to put them, I think they're all interchangeable over here. And especially even in the Western Conference, same thing here. From 7 through 8, or for 7 through 9, or 7 through 11 even. These teams can all go interchangeable. So somebody will have to be lower. Somebody will have to miss out. It's just the game. It's just the game at the end of the day. We'll have to see how it plays out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It was really fun making this video. So you guys, let me know if you guys want me to make more videos. I do want to make a video where I predict awards as well. So yeah, stay tuned. A lot of new stuff is coming to this channel. If you guys are new, please make sure you guys subscribe. I'll be posting a lot of NBA content as well. So if you guys are not Heat fans, it's completely fine. NBA content will be on this channel as well. If you guys want to look at the Heat and see my thoughts on the Heat as well, you guys can. So, yep. I'll be wrapping it up here. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all later as always. Peace.